When you're buying or selling a home, or if you're a real estate agent helping clients put together a real estate contract, you need to know how to deal with personal property being left behind by the seller. What we're talking about today are called interested party contributions in a real estate contract, and it can come in two forms. Cash provided by the seller for seller credits to pay for closing costs, prepaid items like taxes and insurance, or any interest due at closing. That's a seller credit. There's also something called an interested party contribution that is a non-realty item. So what we can consider non-realty items are things like pool covers, lawn mowers, patio furniture, things like that can have a perceived value of and those value of those items can cause an issue when it comes to the sales contract and the value of the home. So let's dig a little bit deeper into why this is. So generally speaking, acceptable contract items include things like built-in appliances, stoves, dishwashers, refrigerators, that sort of thing. Any window treatments or things that are attached to the home, like carpet. So these items that are attached to the property are usually considered fixtures, and the underwriter is not going to consider those. It's really the items that would require maybe a reduction in the purchase price or value of the home that we worry about when they are included as far as seller leave behinds, if you will. On top of that, personal property items left for the convenience of the seller, like pool cleaning equipment or lawn mowers or picnic tables, patio sets, pool tables. Typically those don't cause much trouble in real estate contracts, especially when there's special language that's included in that contract. So as a general rule, if the personal property is less than 2% of the value of the home or less than $500, it's really not going to be considered an interested party contribution. So what happens when something of significant value is mentioned in the sales contract as being left by the seller for the buyer? Well, the appraiser must note all personal property included in the sales contract, and they have to figure out what that aggregate value is of all those items that are included. So it's really a judgment call. This value listed by the seller could be anywhere from $0 to many thousands of dollars. And with regards to most of the incidental personal property I listed out, the appraiser is typically going to cite those items in the report as a personal property item, and often will give those a value of 0, and that's the goal. However, if you find yourself looking at a sales contract and the list of personal property there includes priceless art hanging on the wall or a '67 Corvette in the garage, you got to get those items off the contract. They're only going to cause problems down the road. So to summarize, while mortgage financing guidelines don't specifically state, and they never really have stated, that items needed to be removed from the contract, they are going to provide a problem when it comes to evaluating the property and what the underwriter is going to allow the buyer to use as a loan to value. So good idea is to either get those items removed from the contract or include special language when it does come to interested party contributions that are non-realty items, that those items are being left for the sole convenience of the seller and they don't carry any value with the transaction. Now that has to make sense. You can't leave a boat in the backyard because it's too big to move, and that you're leaving that for the seller's, the buyer's convenience. It's not going to fly. Those items do have value, and you would have to get them removed from the contract. So to deal with this more directly, many lenders have simply adopted a strategy of having the buyers and sellers remove these items from the sales contract. As always, if you come across a sales contract where these items have to be listed, talk to your trusted closing attorney. They can give you some guidance, or give me a call anytime. I'd be happy to help.